What's up YouTube, this is the Keyboard Warrior here and we are back with another tier list. This tier list would be for June 2024 post Combo Breaker, and now Combo Breaker was amazing. I watched almost every match, 3 nights in a row, sleepless nights, and the tournament was absolutely mind-blowing. We saw an upset, we saw Shaheen win the tournament. AK was outstanding. This tier list would be based a lot on Combo Breaker, because when I watched all those matches and all those pro players, I tried to understand which characters the players struggled against and which characters was more picked, the good and bad matchups for different characters. So keeping all that in mind, I'm gonna try and design a tier list. Now, tier list is something that not everyone agrees on. And that's fine, as long as you're being respectful. Use the comment section, tell me where I'm going wrong, and just be respectful about it. Don't be toxic, don't be annoying. Just be respectful. The fighting game community needs to be more respectful towards others' opinion. And it's fine. It's fine to have different opinions. I might feel that a character is weak, and you might feel differently. And it's okay to voice your opinion as long as you're not being toxic or disrespectful. Again, as I always say, skill beats tier list any day. So no matter what character you're using, if you're good with the character, you'll definitely be doing well with him. And the difference between the tiers is not that much, right? It's just that some characters are just a little better, right? If someone is in the bottom tier doesn't mean he's unusable, no. In Tekken 8, all characters are very strong, and they have some kind of broken stuff about them, alright? So it's all about how well you adjust to the game, how well you understand your opponent, and how well you adjust to the gameplay, right? So let's begin. The first one would be Jack, and we have all seen Joey Fury play Jack, the best Jack in the world, maybe after Anakin. Jack is strong, okay? Maybe he's pokeable, but this character has the best low pokes in the game and you can't deny that. But his overall kit is not that strong, so therefore I'll be keeping him in the C tier. Jean was the most used character in Combo Breaker, and he's definitely the most balanced character in the game. Like, there's nothing broken about the character, but he's extremely strong in every way. Like, he has an answer to everything, and that's why I'm gonna keep him in A tier. I know I am personally very good with the Jin matchup, but that doesn't take away from the fact that he's extremely strong. So yeah, A tier. His mother is equally strong, but she was S tier, but she would fall down to A tier because of the nerfs that she got in the latest patch. His dad, however, is not as strong as his son, maybe because of the insane execution barrier that you need to be good with the character. I've seen so many Kazuya struggle after blue ranks, but that doesn't mean that they're not good players. You have to be insanely skilled to get Kazuya to Tekken God or something like that. And even you have to be insanely skilled to play in tournaments, because this guy is so straightforward that people can't predict what he's gonna do. I'd keep Kazuya in the C tier. Next we have King. Now I was a little hesitant to put him in the S tier, maybe because, or maybe, he could be the S tier. We did see Dr. Jakeman literally defeat Arsenal Nash with a King. Yeah, I think King should be S tier. So King mains that may just come over here and say that you need to get better with your throw breaks. So you're telling me that Knee is also not good with his throw breaks, right? We did see Knee eat like 3 or 4 giant swings against the same guy who defeated Arslan. Throws are broken in this game. You cannot deny that. No matter how much you learn your throw breaks, the window to break that throw is very low. And King has throw mix-ups. With a full throw game to his side, I don't think this character should be in the A tier. I think he's better. Especially because I saw how Nina, one of the most broken characters, struggle against King. Maybe it was the player. Like I said, skill beats tier list. Is King really a bad character? I don't think so. I've seen so many players with absolutely bad fundamentals reach blue just because they're using King. Now, King mains can come over here and say whatever you like, but doesn't take away from the fact that King is insanely strong in this game. Next we have Lars, and I'll put him in the A tier or maybe the B tier. Oh, this is supposed to be the B tier. Yeah. So I'll put him in the B tier, and that is because maybe his pressure game is insanely good, but if you actually like this character, you know that there are so many instances where you can poke him. I practice with the Lars regularly, and I know every instance when I can poke him, especially when he's transitioning into his stances. So, yeah. Lars is good. I'm not saying he's bad, but he wasn't as good as he was before. People have figured him out. Law is really good. I'm playing Law recently, and I feel this character deserves a much higher spot. So A tier is the best. Great mix-ups. His slide mix-ups are insane. His combo damage is insane. His poking is good. Great pressure tools. Overall, really, really strong character this time. And they made DSS easier. So that also makes him even stronger than what he was in Tekken 7. So yeah, A tier. His friend Paul, however, I'm not convinced. Like, I saw Paul's in Combo Breaker, they were good, but they were not outstandingly good. The problem with Paul is that he's so basic and he's so straightforward at times that you know exactly what he's doing. He's one of the most honest characters you can play at higher levels because there's nothing cheap about him. What is cheap? There's nothing. Like, he's no Eddie, right? He just can't go ahead and mash with Paul. You have to be absolutely perfect with your timing. You have to be perfect with your execution. And let me tell you, his QCF1 combos, where you do 2 or 3 of them together, are insanely hard to do. So if you want to get the best out of Paul, you have to be a really, really good player. Because there's nothing cheap or nothing broken about the character. Okay? I'm not saying that he's absolutely bad and shouldn't be used. But he's just not as good as the other characters in this year. This is what I feel. Now you might feel differently about Paul. Alright? So this is what I feel. Nina is currently the most broken character, maybe. I don't know. If she's not broken, she's extremely strong, okay? Definitely S tier. We've seen how Arslan plays. Now that's Arslan. He's arguably the best Tekken player at the moment. But we have seen other Ninas as well, and she is quite broken because of her insane poking ability and pressure game. Another broken character, Shayu, another S tier. Like, her mix-ups are broken, her butterfly stance is broken. I don't like this character at all. Like, this is one character that can carry you to blue. You can literally reach blue ranks in 2 days with this character. Asuka received buffs, and I think I might just sneak her into the A tier. Her buffs are really good. We have seen some decent Asukas in the tournament. She has decent mix-ups. Now she gets a running counter-hit launcher. So yeah, I think she is good enough to be in the A tier at the moment. Okay, Leroy. We didn't see one player use Leroy as a beginning character. There was only John. I think John Dane used Leroy during in his match against Arsenal Nash, and that too because he lost when he used Eddie. I'm not sure, was it John Dane or was it someone else? But yeah, Leroy. I still place him in the B tier. Yet to see how good he has become with the buffs, but for now I'm gonna keep him in the B tier. Okay, Lily. She is one of the hidden S tiers no one is talking about. Trust me, I lapped this character and I'm pretty sure about this character being S tier. I'll explain why. Okay, she's great at neutral. Okay, she has insane mix-ups. She has evasion. She has the damage. She's literally one of the strongest characters out there at the moment. I don't really see why she shouldn't be in the S tier. A lot of time during the match when I'm playing against Lily, it's like I just need to take a guess. Alright, so also she has the best sidestep in the game. Like much better than all of these characters. So yeah, S tier. Orang, I always tell you that Horang is nothing at higher levels, right? He might be a scrub killer, might be godlike at lower levels, but at high levels and tournament level, Horang is nothing. Trust me. Like we saw two Horangs, I guess, in the tournament, and they didn't do well enough. He's a must-lab character, okay? If you want to be good against Horang, you must lab him at all costs. But there's something missing about this guy. Maybe his heat mode. Other than that counter hit low, not much that you can get from his heat mode. Even the worst heat smash in the game, I guess. So Claudio is also strong, and I would put him in the A tier. He performed really well at Combo Breaker. Great poking, back one, super one punch pressure. Some really good mix-ups. Overall, a really, really, really strong character, and I put him in the A tier. Azucena, she dropped the tier because of all the nerfs. Now she's good. She's still good. I'm not saying she isn't, but she's not as good or broken as she was before. A tier. Raven, I would probably put Raven in the B tier. I used to put him in the A tier before, but slowly people have figured him out. He's quite unsafe, but I'm not saying he's a bad character. Maybe I might have a little doubt on these two. I think Claudio is the better character of the two. So whenever you're like doing a tier list, make sure that you compare this character with the characters above. So is Raven better than these characters? I don't think so. Alright, so yeah. B tier. Dragunov is still S tier, not the broken Dragunov that we used to know, but he's still super strong. His mix-ups are strong. Not insanely broken, but still super duper strong, right? Okay, so Kuma. Um, Kuma, I put him the C tier, or maybe the B tier. Kuma is good. His heat moves is really good. He's basically the same as Panda, but he's much better in heat. Leo is also good. Didn't perform well in the tournament, but I'd still put him in the A tier. Very linear. The only problem with Leo is that he's very linear and very, very weak to sidesteps. So if you're good at sidestepping, you'd probably eat Leo for breakfast. Right? The Leo player is skilled enough, he would probably use his homing most of the time. It'll be a little restricted. But other than that, Leo is insanely strong. I think he's stronger than these characters here. I'd put him in the A tier. Shaheen, there's nothing more that I can say about this character. I might put him in the S tier, but I'm not sure though. Maybe AK needs a little bit of credit here. Okay, Shaheen is really strong. Okay, I'm not saying Shaheen isn't strong, but we should also give credit to AK. Like Shaheen is not broken strong, but AK is a really skilled player, and he played outstandingly well. So I think he deserves a lot of credit, and not just. And I don't think in any way he was carried by the character. So yeah. Steve received buffs, but is not good enough to take him up a tier list. But in the hands of a really skilled player, he could be really, really good. But for now, I'd keep him in the B tier. Yoshi is extremely strong, easily A tier, one of the hardest characters to play. mainly because of his flowcharts and how insanely difficult uh, his move list is. So many things you can do with this character that's often overwhelming for the user, but that doesn't mean that he's not strong. He's extremely strong. If used to his full potential, this character is really, really strong. Feng Wei, another broken character, arguably the best character in the game at the moment, because we saw Dragunov getting nerfed, and Dragunov was supposed to be the best character, but that spot goes to Feng Wei right now. He's broken. He's all sorts of broken. Okay, great poking, launch, damage, everything. You ask for it. Heat mode. He's like the final boss in heat mode. Okay, so yeah, Panda is arguably the worst character at the moment, but as I always say, skill beats skill list. If you're skilled enough, you can use Panda and beat any of these guys. Okay, so skill beats tier list any day. Alisa is very strong, and I'll put that in the A tier. This character is meant for Tekken 8. You ask for all the random monkey stuff, and this character has it. Right? She is meant for Tekken 8. Aggressive, chainsaw, plus frames. She is very strong. Devil Jin is like the weakest Mishima at the moment, and I'll put him in the C tier. He's weaker than Kazuya. Nothing left for the character. They nerfed him to the ground. His heat mode is the only thing that's keeping him in the C tier, otherwise he would probably be the worst character in the game at the moment. Lee is an extremely strong character, one of the toughest characters to master, and if you could master this guy and you could play him to his full potential, then he's arguably one of the best characters you can pick, right? Insane mix-ups. The only thing where he lacks is his pressure game. You don't get enough of it, but his 50-50 and his mix-up game is extremely strong, right? So Lee is A tier. Zafina, I'd put in the B tier again. Did receive buffs, but we saw Sonic use Zafina and he dominated 2 or 3 games, but then he lost because once you know the matchup, she's easy to play against. But she knowledge checks because of how less her pick rate is. So yeah, Victor is also strong. Maybe he will receive a nerf later on. Right now, he's really strong. Okay, we saw how Farzine take on Nice Brian and obliterated him. And Victor is so easy to play. Like he's so easy to play. Like there's very little chances that he won't reach full potential with this character. Right? So 8 here. Brian, extremely demanding, one of the toughest characters again. We saw Nice Brian, and he's arguably one of the best Brian players at the moment, if not the best. But Brian, I don't know, man. If you compare with all the other characters here, to be really good with Brian, you have to be insanely skilled. And overall, I think Brian would struggle. You know, even the simplest stuff with Brian is so hard. So I don't think he is that good of a character at the moment. Probably mid tier at best. Rena would go A tier. Yeah. If you're good with the matchup, you know when to poke her. So she is pokeable, alright? And her overall pressure game is very good. Maybe the fact that she doesn't have a decent low hurts her game a little bit, but that's probably her only weakness. Other than that, she's a really, really strong character, okay? Eddie's gonna be B tier. Yeah. Eddie's gonna be B tier for me. I'm not doing this because of John Ding, okay? But even though if you look at frame data and everything, he's pokeable. His frame data is not that good, but if you can use him well enough, you can go ahead and take people by surprise. As I say, Bandai always did a very, very clever thing, putting a must-lap character as DLC so that everyone buys him. But if you don't lab Eddie, you would probably feel that he's the most, broken character in the game when you play against him. But when you lab him and you know the matchup, I don't think he's that strong. Okay. So time for some final adjustments, all right? Let's see here. Mm, Zafina. Might put Paul up a little bit. Leroy is better. Yeah, this makes sense. Yeah. So, yep, this is the final list according to me. Now, as I always say, tier list is something that not everyone agrees on, and it's okay to have different opinions. So, use the comment section. Let me know if I'm going wrong somewhere, but be respectful about it. Please don't be toxic. It's a request. And yeah, that should be it. You might just fast forward the video to the final tier list. If you feel that I'm going wrong, I would request you to go back to the video to a point where you can check the explanations for the characters so that you understand why I'm putting that character in that tier list. All right. So yeah. So that makes sense. So yeah, that will be it for the video. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again in the next one.